Welcome back. So we open this fourth session, and we will try to rush a little bit so we can not. I think I don't want to go over 6:15 because then there's another official event for me. So okay. In this session, we will introduce the United Nations Public Administration Case Studies, and also with this presentation we will also answer the question of our colleague from Mongolia. We will first start with a short presentation of the Division of Public Administration and Development Management, and then move to the main object of this session. To present PACS, I have asked my colleague Richard Kirby to be the facilitator, because I will have a short presentation on PowerPoint, but then Belal and Richard Kirby will show the platform directly online, and we will have this interactive second part of the session in a way that we can have much more interaction with the audience. Which one? I think we have to use that.
Slide, should we see? Please. You can use this one. Doesn't work. We're having problems over here. Can you come in?
Yeah, use this.
Just load it.
Yeah, it doesn't change.
This is what this does. Okay, let's just do it from here. Can we just load this? The mouse.
Okay. Okay. Now it's working. The Department of Public Administration and Development Management mission is to promote effective, efficient, accountable, participatory, and transparent public administration for the attainment of internationally agreed development goals and the Millennium Development Goals. Our mandate is to serve and provide inputs to the General Assembly and the Economic and Social Council on substantive issues. We are also mandated to organize major United Nations conferences. Most recently, our division has seen an increasing demand for technical advisory services in emerging issues from the United Nations member states. With years of experience, DPADM has been able to carve a niche for itself in being able to provide the capacity to address challenging issues. As part of our development capacity strategy, DPADM has focused areas in institutional and human resource management, e-government development, and development management and citizen engagement. The core function of DPADM include providing advocacy and normative support, conducting research and analysis, knowledge sharing and training, and providing advisory services to the member states. In 2010, in terms of advocacy and normative support, almost 4 references and recommendations to DPADM were contained in resolution of intergovernmental bodies. The outcomes document for the MDG Summit, which was adopted by the General Assembly on the 22nd September 2010, called for the need to, I quote, support more modern ICT applications and increase connectivity, access and investment in innovation and development, and the effective use of innovative ICT application and e-governance tools, unquote. The division is continuing its work in facilitating the implementation of the Tunis agenda for the World Summit of the Information Society, particularly on e-government, internet governance, and enhanced cooperation on public policy issues pertaining to the internet. In the area of research and analysis, the division's two main publications, one is the United Nations e-government survey and the World Public Sector Report, were published early this year. The 2010 United Nations e-government survey was very well received and was the fourth most downloaded publication from among more than 100 major publications that are produced by UNDESA each year. The division continues to conduct its knowledge sharing and training activities through its DPADM and the UNPAN websites, the online training modules, and our training workshop. The DPADM website was ranked second among the 11 divisional and DESA websites, and even saw a 4% increase in vision from 2009 to 2010. Moreover, there has been a rising interest among United Nations member states in the United Nations Public Service Award. In 2010, nomination for the United Nations Public Service Award surged by 28%. Also in 2010, the highest number of awards was conferred upon winners since the commencement of the program in 2003. Providing advisory services at the member states remains a priority for our division, and in 2010, capacity building workshops were organized in Africa, Asia-Pacific, Europe, on themes such as citizen engagement, developing standards of education and training in public administration, developing human resources, ministerial leadership, and promotion innovation in public service delivery. In 2010, the division undertook a total of 30 advisory missions in 25 countries, in Asia, Africa, Americas, and Europe, to support the governments in implementing their strategy and to assist them with capacity development in the focus areas of the division. The division also continued to further its mission through the work of its affiliate organization. One is the United Nations Project Office of Governance, and that is hosting this conference. Also Internet Governance Forum, ICT Parliament, and through the Global Alliance of ICT and Development. Okay, that was a short presentation of the division. Let's go to UNPACS. What is UNPACS? We envision that UNPACS as a comprehensive, up-to-date, and readily accessible online knowledge base in public administration. UNPACS will assist governments in making evidence-based decisions by providing country data and global views on conventional and emerging topics related to public administration in all 192 UN member states. In regard to UNPACS development at this time, the technical platform is almost finalized. I can say it is finalized. The prototype is already online at this stage, and the content has been categorized by countries, region, and team with relevant linkages to the mandate of DPADM and to specific Millennium Development Goals. In the first phase of UNPACS development, the first phase will include the following sub-themes: Code of Conduct, Government Agency for all 192 member states of the UN, Profiles of Chief Information Officers or equivalent, E-Government Policies and Strategies, constitutional rights related with citizen engagement in public affairs, economic and social councils, freedom of information acts, data protection acts, agencies responsible for openness, privacy and security. UNPACS is an ongoing process, and as such, each branch of the DPADM is responsible with continuously updating, add new innovative practice and populating the knowledge base. UNPACS objects are to integrate sources of knowledge in a more effective and efficient way in order to better store, share and transfer knowledge on governance in public administration for the benefit of member states. To promote efficiency, effectiveness, accountability and transparency in the public sector in order to support the achievement of the internationally agreed development goals, including the MDGs. To address emerging issues in the public sector, to help refocus the work of the division according to the thematic areas, and whenever possible toward the MDGs and the emerging issues. To promote an organizational culture that supports knowledge management within the division, and to ensure that the division will be transformed to function as a continuously learning organization capable of delivering services as the center of excellence on governance and public administration for UNDESA. Let's see the difference between UNPAN and UNPACS. UNPAN and UNPACS continue to be two separate portals. While UNPAN is the network on public administration, UNPACS is the focused knowledge base of the division on its work areas, but each website complements the other. Another difference between the two portals is that the first one is fed and updated by the world community of UNPAN partners, and for this phase, PACS is fed right now only by our division. Some of the major improvements that we have made in the development and maintenance of our website include an easy-to-use and powerful search engine, an easy process of adding or categorize content, single sign-on on capabilities for our multiple web portals, multi-language support, and so on. This feature we will see directly when we will go online for the interaction with the system. Our government-related themes in UNPACS encompass national strategies and policies on e-government and ICT-led development, legal and regulatory framework, and information on chief information officers or equivalent, and institutional framework in different United Nations member states. National strategy and policies include a collection of existing national strategy and policies on e-government, content analysis, including trends, features, and key substances, and specific products such as guidelines, toolkit, and other capacity development tools. Legal and regulatory framework include a collection of legal documentation on e-government in United Nations member states, sample legislation indexed by subject area, an analysis of key features and the provision of tools for guidance as well as capacity development. With information of the Chief Information Officer or equivalent, we intend to foster a close partnership of CIOs and provide an avenue for CIOs from different countries to tap each other's knowledge and experiences. Currently, we have created a database of CIO profiles. We are also in the process of analyzing different national institutional frameworks under which CIOs operate. Additionally, we are going to work more closely with the CIOs to improve our products and services. We intend to establish an informal network of CIOs and a regional forum backed by existing institutions. Also, we will work closely with the UNPAC on the follow-up of this conference to better finalize these activities for ASEAN Pacific. In UNPACS, up to date, or I think, no, it's not up to date, but 2 weeks ago, we have 439 documents on e-government strategy and policies and 433 legal and regulatory documents. We have profile of CIO in all 192 UN member states. With these slides, as you can observe, this is what we call the knowledge value added chain. Different dimensions of DPADM's activities, products, and output are fed into this chain to be processed into useful and valuable added value products. So UNPACS therefore has a central role with this chain as it becomes the main tool within the DPADM framework to accumulate and organize knowledge sharing and knowledge transfer. I'm almost finished. So, in conclusion, moving forward, we would like to build opportunities for linking the United Nations normative framework, analytical products, and capacity development goals to enhance e-government development. We also look forward to pursuing concrete operational objectives at the policy making, at the policy implementation level. We will use this opportunity of this forum to further our development capacity strategy by enhancing our partnership with the member of this forum and look forward to incorporating some of the innovative e-government practices and solutions that have been shared in this forum. Also with the CIO, we would like to start creating this informal network, and we would also to add more information in our system about the profile of the CIO. I would like now to ask my colleagues, Richard Kelvin and Belal Hassan, to provide a practical demonstration of UNPACS, and we started this interaction discussion. Thank you.
Okay, this is not PACS. Everyone in this room has something to be government, correct? Okay. How many of you have actually gone to Google or Bing or any other search engine to find information on e-government? Please stand up. Anybody? Stand up. Don't raise your hand, stand up. Anyone who has used Google, Bing, or any search engine to get any information on e-government, please stand up. Those of you who are sitting down are not e-government people. Right? If you want a place to find something on e-government, regardless of the country, we believe that UNPACS is the place to go. What we're trying to do with this application is essentially bring you to a base on the internet that allows you to find information about laws, about who the CIO is in the country, about any kind of documentation on strategies, which will assist you as a government official or an NGO or a civil servant or anyone else to have a good information about it. So if you look at the bottom of the screen right now, this also has information about the Millennium Development Goals. So if you want information about all 8 goals, you can find them through UNPACS. If you want information about codes of conduct, you can find it through UNPACS. Now on the left-hand side, you'll see 4 tabs out there. Those 4 tabs are essentially the 4 UN divisions that are going to populate the system. And we are the e-government and mobile development branch. We're going to click on that. It should be coming shortly. All right. Now, this is the information that we as a unit upload on a regular basis. And if you look at on the left-hand side, it's on the screen under the sub-themes. This is the kind of data that you can find on us. You can find information about digital signatures. You can find information about policy strategies, related e-government issues. And if you want specific information about a country, you can also find that as well. So when you click on the country theme, and we're going to select for today's purposes the country of Japan. You can see we have all 192 countries out there with their flags and the correct spelling. Okay, now for this, on the top-hand part, information is gathered from the World Bank and the U.S. Statistical Office. So information about Japan is updated on a regular basis. Whenever their database is updated, it's automatically updated in the UNPACS.
This depends basically the macroeconomic information on the economy and the demographic information on the economy. So these two information we are actually pulling in from the World Bank's interface. We are actually they put in.
Information.
We developed a timeline tool on freedom of information, but this is going to be really difficult for us updating information. I think at some point we'll have to rely on the member states to update the data, because some countries, governments change, elections happen. We really, in the future, I think the national information, some of this basic information will have to depend on the government, because the 192 nations and really keeping track, some of the changes will be different.
If I may clarify it, I believe every time has its own cutoff. So I know that this is the current situation in that country. 6 months later, I'm going to compare. For example, if I know that X country is now doing very well, and then after 3 months or after 20 years, how I compare?
I think the answer is that information that's created by UNDESA, in terms of the survey, the answer is yes. So you actually have a history of where the country stood in the last 3 or 4 years. So in 2010, if it was ranked 8 in infrastructure, and in 2008 it was ranked 5th in infrastructure, you can guide that option. But in data that's not being generated by us, we don't have that timeline. But all UN survey data is timeline sensitive. There's a question in the back there.
Personally, I'm really amazed by your amazing work. And I'm just kind of curious that how can I use, if I just compare to one country in another country, this kind of specific the context. So is there anything to compare?
In the UN knowledge base, you actually compare country to country, but only based on the UN survey data. So there is a program there that allows you to actually compare multiple countries together, countries in the same region together as well. So you can compare China with Italy, you can compare China with Burkina Faso on a one-to-one basis. But that's only on the UN survey data. Yes?
I'm Mohit from Brunei. I just want to ask you, in the future, you need to give user ID for the user so that they can update the information. Because just now, when I go through, for Brunei alone, there are mistakes in terms of information or in terms of links. So are you later on going to keep user ID so that, and then how many user ID that you're going to give?
I think we're going to use probably the CIO network as the main link between the user and the system itself. Because we cannot open it to the whole world. So if the CIO of the country, it would be his or her job to ensure that the data is up to date. And I mean, I'm talking about updating, not on a daily basis, but at least on a monthly basis or every 3 months to make sure the information is correct. Because some is static. Information about population is static. It'll change once a year. But the information that is current, like maybe the links of the current minister have changed. I mean, we do that search once a year. But the CIO knows that these changes have been made, they should alert us or modify it directly. Any other questions? Yes. Yes.
Hello. Just curious, because you mentioned before you want to improve the search engine, and since your introduction, I assume the documents are not available in Google or Bing. Is there a reason for that?
They are available in Google or Bing, but it's just, we just find it easier to put it right here for you to find it. So you can search it through Google or Bing and find it as well. In fact, it's probably faster. Any other questions? Yeah, no, just touching, okay. Anything else? Are you sure? Last chance. I know you guys want to go home at 6 o'clock. Okay, you want to wrap up anything?
Yes, I would also like to add more information about this period. This is a beta test that we are testing in-house. And it is, in the same time, we are still providing, and we are populating the system. And the second step will be to have a short number of external testers. And in the same time, we are also working more on the performance of the platform and of the future of the platform, because right now it's a platform development in our division, but the future of this platform will be something that really can respond to the demand of all member states in terms not only of the, because right now we are covering 192 countries in terms of information, data, and so on, but in terms of users, then we need to develop a system that is able to manage this kind of performance. In terms of infrastructure, technology, the technology is ready to do that. We need just then to put resources in terms of upscaling the software and the platform and the infrastructure. So if there are no other questions, I hope that, please.
Thank you, and sorry for interrupting the last time. Well, probably just silly questions. I just want to know what is actually the logical ideas or reasons behind making this such a initiative for making this one-stop shop.
It means that my presentation was not well done. No, I'm joking. What we want to have this repository that could provide the first could provide a tool to support all member states on their e-government activities, starting from the CIO, but not only the CIO. What is important really is to have a common framework, a common knowledge base, to start working together and to have a sort of not only repository but a place to exchange experience, knowledge, and also to start sharing projects, best practices, and to be in touch. Also, this is also something very important because normally people works with people they know, but to establish this network for us is very important because then it makes much more easy many other activities in terms of development.
I'd like to add also, it's actually a request from member states. Whenever we go to different conferences or advisory mission, we always ask the question, what is X doing in terms of e-strategy? What is X doing in terms of electronic signature, or who the CIO is? So by preparing, we don't have the resources to go to see 122 countries on a weekly basis. So by preparing this repository, that information is available to all for access. So we're meeting the needs of the member states.
Okay. So we can conclude this fourth session, and tomorrow you.
I just wanted to add one thing. If you could send the reminders to CIOs periodically, stating or giving some kind of data. Out of this many countries, this many CIOs have done their part, or uploaded the new information. And so with that attachment, or with that information, if you could periodically send the CIOs as a reminder, I think that would also help.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. In fact, I think the CIO network would be probably the critical lifeline to the field. It will be more than just once every 3 months. It will be almost on a daily basis. Not just for UNPAC, but in general, income information about what the UN is doing, in types of conferences, and that could be a non-UN conference as well. If you're a country and you want to promote your event, you can do it through the UNPACS, or through UNPAN actually. And then that information will be there with your terms of reference, who's coming, the themes, and so forth.
Thanks.
S.K Belal Hassan, let us ask, who is the CIO of United Nations? What he's doing?
It's a Korean actually.
Yeah, sure.
Not just Mr. Shaw.
But he is not from TESA. CITO is the Chief Information Technology Officer, and it's an assistant of Secretary General, report directly to Secretary General.
So essentially, he's doing all the business processes on the IT infrastructure. So it's linking the workflow and meeting the human needs through IT. So he's the real CIO of the UN. And by the way, for the CIO, I think it's also important to make sure we have the correct data on the CIO. I think that would change, not on a regular basis, but quite often. So I think it will be critical for us to get proper information from you guys.
I just want to congratulate you on this initiative. Having been in this field for some time, this is exactly the type of things we require in order to actually progress, in order to do this thing. Otherwise, we just do it on a singular basis, just go and search for some country and get one document there, and get one document here. We actually can't do that. It takes a lot of time to actually do analysis of exactly what's happening. This is a very, very good initiative, and it helps a great deal in order to progress with it. And I was just thinking, why having, you know, all these factors in mind, nobody actually does compile all these things together, and this is very, very clear. And I want to cooperate with you. Very good.
It's also a free of charge to do that. Not charging. However, more compliments we might start charging. Yeah.
Okay, we can conclude this fourth session. Thank you very much for your passion and for to have attended this fourth session, and it was very long in terms of timing. I want just to add something for tomorrow, because tomorrow you will have an example, an exercise of an application it will be the e-government country brief, that in any case could be some added value product that comes not only from PACS, but PACS will also provide and support researchers and member states and CIO to create this kind of products that could be useful for other additional activities. So it is not the solution, but PACS really want to help all of you and try to make your life a little bit easier. It makes researchers and also comparing with the other countries. Thank you again, and have a nice evening, and see you tomorrow.